Hello, back again with another video to continue our new series on an alternative 2022 midterms. In the House, Republicans absolutely blew out Democrats. Republicans flipped seats, and you can see there the list of candidates who flipped seats. Some of these were very pro-Trump candidates, very MAGA candidates, some were more moderate, but many of these candidates flipped their seats. Now, Democrats did flip 3 seats from Republicans, but of course that was not enough to stem their losses. That was not enough to hold their majority, which had been resting at about 219 before November 8th, 2022. Now the margin heading into January, when in January Congress turns over, the margin will be Republicans 232 seats to Democrats 203. Many Democrats are shocked. They thought it would be bad, but not that bad. Democrats thought the reversal of Roe v. Wade would have saved them. They were convinced. Many of their TV ads aired on the issue, and yet they were wrong. These Republicans won their seats. These Republicans won a majority. These are the majority makers for this new Congress, and Democrats were unable to win. That is worrying. Democrats, were unable to win. And many are saying this is a major setback for President Biden. No doubt. Now, everybody thought Democrats would lose the House. Some predicted 10 seats, some predicted 12, but this was worrying how many seats were lost. They picked up a lot of seats here. And now the Democrats are locked out of the House, at least for this session of Congress. They may have a chance to take it back in 2024, but it's going to be harder than if it was a very narrow majority for Republicans. This is a large majority for Republicans, and it's going to help them pass their agenda. And they're going to have less disputes, I think, at this current time, but with this analysis of this alternative Congress. Now, on November 9th, the day after the midterms, Elise Stefanik, who was conference chairwoman of the GOP, released the following letter. She writes, quote, "Dear colleagues and soon-to-be colleagues, today I write to all of you to ask for your support in the upcoming leadership election. I'm running to be the majority whip. I believe we must focus on our Promise to America agenda that won us the 2022 House elections. Many of our candidates signed on to that agenda. Many campaigned on it. Many won on it. With wins from Mike Lawler here in New York, Alan Fung in Rhode Island, Laura Lee in Florida, and John James in Michigan. We formed a broad coalition and we won. Now I write to you to ask for your vote in the coming leadership elections on November 15. As majority whip, you must be responsible for gathering the votes to Congress and then passing our agenda. To do this, you need someone with experience of running such a conference. For the past 2 years, I've led the conference as chairwoman. I will be speaking with and holding conversations with, meeting with how our members, where I will find out what members want, and then we will deliver such agenda. I hope to earn the support of you all as I talk to you over the coming days, just like I've done as conference chair. Thank you. From Elise Stefanik, end quote. So she's basically running for majority whip, which would be the number 3 role in the leadership structure now in the House Republicans conference. This would be a promotion from her current number 4 spot. And she's in the number 3 spot at the moment. And she would retain a number 3 spot. But the majority whip, of course, has a lot more power than conference chair. And she's laying out why. She's talking about how the Promise to America agenda won. She's talking about how she can gather votes. She's talking about knowing the conference. She's announced this the day after the midterms. That's when Republicans had a big victory. Elise Stefanik rules out those who have endorsed her bid for majority whip already. Patrick McHenry of North Carolina, Ryan Zink of Montana, Ashley Hanson of Iowa, Brad Fitzstad of Minnesota, Maria Salazar of Florida, Carlos Gimenez of Florida, Caroline Levitt of New Hampshire, Mike Turner of Ohio, Marcus Molano of New York, Mike Lawler of New York, Monica de la Cruz of Texas, Mariette Meeks of Iowa, Tom Keaton Jr. of New Jersey, Anthony D'Espeto of New York, Mike Johnson of Louisiana, Juliet Letlow of Louisiana, Rob Whitman of Virginia, Jen Kiggins of Virginia, Stephanie Bice of Oklahoma, Virginia Fox of North Carolina, Dusty Johnson of South Dakota, June Sizukomani of Arizona. Then on November 19th, however, Tom Emmer sends an email to colleagues saying, quote, "We flipped the House to focus on great candidates and the ability to beat out Democrats who had previously been locked into their seats for years. As chairman of the NRSC, we created a field of candidates who already win their districts, and they did. I helped elect a group of Republicans that are going to be hardworking and ready to deliver on our Promise to America agenda. I'm officially declaring my bid for Majority Whip. I look forward to earning the support for our conference," end quote. So he had a short but effective statement. He announced he's running for Majority Whip. He talks about how he helped win the House. He talks about passing the Promise to America agenda. He talks about how these Republicans are going to be hardworking. He's laying out the case. So that's two candidates now, Elise Stefanik and Tom Emmer, for the spot. These people are not hating each other, so it'll be interesting to watch this unfold. Then on November 10th, Drew Ferguson, letter to members and members-elect announcing Majority Whip campaign. So this is a third candidate. He writes, quote, "I am going to hit the ground running to fulfill the commitment. I'm ready to hit the ground running to fulfill the commitment we made to American voters when we announced the Promise to America agenda. Our conference must be able to use the full powers of the House to object and prevent Biden's disastrous policies. The party must be ready to come together to unite us and to deliver to make sure we keep this majority in 2024 and get the country back on track. The job of the whip is not to just sit and count votes, but to get out there and gather the votes. Gathering votes for legislation and leaving everything on the playing field. As Deputy Chief Whip Steve Scalise, I have learned and understood the process of vote getting. I understand where mistakes were made and where those mistakes can be rectified. I am committed to the mission of fighting for voters, and we will get it done together as a conference. I hope to earn your consideration. Thank you very much." Drew Ferguson's now ranked. That's a third candidate. This is a heated race by all accounts, and it'll be interesting to see who pulls this off. Many would assume Tom Emmer would pull it off, mainly because he was NRCC chairman. He helped take the House back. He's an ally of Kevin McCarthy, so many would suspect that. But we're going to have to see what happens. Then Ashley Hinson, letter on November 10th. "It is my plan to run for the conference chair. As conference chair, I'd be responsible for the creation of a message that would showcase our results to the country, provide the message to the majority of the 2024 elections. I am proud of the work Elise Stefanik has done, and I'm looking forward to building on that work," end quote. So Ashley Hinson of Iowa was running. She was long seen as the heir to this position if Stefanik ever decided to jump forward in leadership or leave that position entirely. She was always seen as the heir, so she's running. She'll probably win it, but at the moment, no candidate is announced. Maybe that'll change very soon. On November 11th, Jim Banks released a statement saying, quote, "Our majority was built by the voters of America, the voters who chose real leadership, who chose success, and who chose a better day for America. That's why the working class voters came out and voted to elect Republicans. I am running for conference chair, and I look forward to earning the support of the members and members-elect." Jim Banks' statement, "Our majority was built by the voters of America, the voters who chose real leadership." Sorry, I've read that statement out twice. Then November 13th, Andy Biggs' statement announces, "Today I am announcing my intentions to run for leadership, running for the nomination for Speaker as the conservative choice of the conference. I'm a lifelong conservative. Now with this majority, we need a true conservative leading it. I hope to earn your support," end quote. That is very interesting because Kevin McCarthy is also running for the nomination, and many would assume Kevin McCarthy is a shoo-in, which I think he still is. But it'll be interesting to see how many votes Biggs wins, because if Biggs puts up a good performance, that could be a problem for McCarthy heading into next year. Thank you for listening, and back again with another video very soon.